Hi, this is Alan Moore, certified financial planner and founder of Serenity Financial Consulting. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about Roth IRAs. Now, Roth IRAs have been around since 1997, but there's still an immense amount of confusion around what they are, who should use them, and I'm hoping that we can kind of clear up some of those questions today. Now, before Roth IRAs, you only had IRAs, which now we call traditional IRAs to give some differentiation. So traditional IRAs, I think they've been around since about '86. You could put money into a traditional IRA. You wouldn't have to pay taxes in that year on your contribution. So basically you could take a tax deduction on your tax return that year, and that money could grow tax deferred. So you weren't paying taxes on the growth every single year. Basically you were able to allow it to grow, and then whenever you took money out, presumably in retirement, you would then be taxed at your ordinary income tax rate. So Roth IRAs came along as a way to, let's say, flip the way that you were being taxed. So with Roth IRAs, you can put money in, but you don't get to take a tax deduction that year. But the money then grows every year, hopefully, and then whenever you get to retirement and you take a distribution, it's completely tax-free. You don't pay any taxes on that growth. So what is the difference then between Roth IRAs and traditional IRAs just based on the tax rates? The truth is, if you're in a, let's say you're in the 25% tax bracket today, and you're going to be in the 25% tax bracket when you take the money out of your IRA, it doesn't matter if you use a Roth IRA or traditional IRA. The ending balance is going to be the same. But there are some other rules that make Roth IRAs a lot more favorable than traditional IRAs. We're not going to get into all the minutiae of the details today, so we'll save that for a future post. A common misconception about Roth IRAs is that they are an investment. So I hear it all the time. I'm going to invest in a Roth, or should I invest in a Roth? Roth IRAs are not technically an investment. They're just an account. So think of IRAs, traditional or Roth, as simply a bank account that you can open, that the government has said we will tax it differently than your savings account at the bank, but we're going to put in some strict rules about how you can get money out, how you put money in, and that type of thing. So when you put money into a Roth IRA, it's simply invested in cash. Okay, you have to actually purchase a mutual fund, stocks, bonds, or anything like that if you want to invest it in the market. So just remember that Roth IRAs themselves are not the investment. They're simply an account. A fear that I hear a lot, though, about Roth IRAs is that the government may change its mind. Now, there's a lot of distrust right now with the government just in general. And a lot of people just don't trust the government to keep their hands off money that's in Roth IRAs for the rest of their lives. Now, they basically believe that maybe in 20 years, the government's going to come along and say, hey, we know we told you that we weren't going to tax it, but truth be told, we are. So we're going to make you pay 25% tax rate. I don't know what the government's going to do. I guess if that happened, it would be better to use a traditional IRA, but that's making the assumption that the government's not going to somehow hit the traditional IRAs as well. You'll have to make that decision yourself, but I do know that there are a lot of people now that are using both traditional and Roth IRAs. So the government's going to anger a lot of investors if they make that decision. So how do you actually open a Roth IRA? For those who want to do it themselves, I typically recommend using Vanguard. You can just go to Vanguard.com and walk through the process to open up a Roth IRA account there. Other options like TD Ameritrade, Schwab, Fidelity, those are great options as well. Another option is to use a fee-only financial planner. They can help you get the account open and then maybe make some investment recommendations for you to help you get started. But the most important thing is that you get the account open and start contributing today. You can save $5,000 into a Roth IRA this year, $6,000 if you're over 50, so it's a great advantage to being over 50. So I typically recommend that everyone go ahead and get started with an IRA, preferably a Roth IRA, and start contributing the maximum amount. If you take nothing else away from this video, I want you to remember that Roth IRAs are awesome. Roth IRAs, and actually now Roth 401ks, allow you to put money in, pay the taxes today, and you get tax-free growth for the rest of your life. That is an awesome deal. So what do you think? Do you have a Roth IRA? If not, have I convinced you to get one? Please feel free to share in the comments section. That's all I have for today. Thanks so much for joining me.